We're here at Vincent Goodwill talking Kevin Durant while he continues to nurse that sore calf ahead of the NBA Finals. We're still wondering where he'll be playing basketball next season. Warriors owner Joe Lacob, he's not that concerned. He's confident KD will re-sign with Golden State next season. But according to a new report, the Clippers and Knicks are now seen as equal threats to land KD. KD's manager, Rich Kleiman, said absolutely no decision has yet to be made.
100% undecided, and I'm waiting on Kevin. You know, that's the truth. I think there's a feeling that this thing is like war games, and everybody's kind of like
playing a role. Yeah,
playing chess like years out. But when somebody gets to the level of basketball that he's at, you can't juggle focus like that. There's so many things he's juggling too. He's not scripting his future while he's playing the way he plays and practices the way he practices. He really doesn't know, and I really don't know.
Do you know, Vinny? Because we certainly don't. What do you think is the best option for Kevin Durant free agency?
Well, when you talk about best options, are you talking about best options for his legacy, best options for a ring? Because, Chris, you said yesterday that all rings aren't created equal, right?
Yes.
In these two rings.
That's what people who follow the NBA have said, and I have picked up what they have said.
Okay. Because here's the thing. Unless you're the 12th man, if you're the finals MVP, your ring counts as much in my book. But if we're going by what the masses say, and they say that KD took the easy way out, all right, then going to the Knicks would be the best move because A, easier route to the finals. It would be KD and Giannis for the next half decade, basically, while KD remains in his prime. And assuming someone comes with him, I think New York Knicks management is competent enough that if you have a Kevin Durant there and maybe you have a Kyrie Irving or a Kemba Walker or some reasonable facsimile of someone like that, that you can build around them to build a contender in reasonable short order because Kevin Durant is that good. And clearly people don't see him staying in Golden State as being something that's respectable for whatever reason.
Vinny, what's LeBron's most important ring?
His most important ring?
Yeah.
I guess you could say Cleveland.
Well, you wouldn't just say it. Everyone
it would be that
it.
one or the first one. The first one after Dallas. Now you can make a case for that.
I would say even the second one because you beat that because that Spurs team was a made champion. And you had to come back from down. You had to come back from down 3-2 in a dire situation, and you weren't helped out by the league either.
Yeah, at that time, I could say yes. But when you keep going on in the history, like I tell people, don't stop reading the book. And then they were down 3-1 to the greatest regular season team that we have seen, and that would
But see, here's the thing. I heard you in an earlier segment. If they don't come back from down 3-1 to Golden State, I don't look at that as a demerit on LeBron's legacy. If he just has those 2 Miami rings, I still put him in the same basketball category, top 5, Mount Rushmore, whatever you want to call it. That just added to it. I don't think that necessarily validated him in some way that being in Miami didn't because he was the finals MVP of both of those.
Well, listen, okay, so you look at this, to me, very differently than the vast majority of people. Everyone, you ask 100 basketball fans on the street, what's LeBron's most important ring? It's the one in Cleveland. And we all, of course, all rings are not created equal, even if you are great enough to win finals MVP in every time you've won an NBA championship, because the circumstances matter. And so for Kevin Durant, what is his best option? Not Golden State, not a team. Maybe, you know what? Right. You know when Golden State would have been an option? If they would have just been swept by Portland. He goes down, somehow they get through Houston because Houston has a mental block against them, and then Portland beats them. Then it's like, hey guys, guess what? You know how I validated my previous 2 rings? Just watch you guys play without me. But if there was any question about the level of necessity the Warriors had with Durant, was he a luxury or a necessity? That question has been answered resoundingly, not just in the 34-4 when he doesn't play, when Steph does since he's been there, not just with the 73-win season the year before and the championship the year before that, but with what we are watching in real time right now. So if people want to argue Clippers versus Knicks, I think you can make a compelling basketball argument for the Clippers. They've been a better run franchise over the last 10 years since Ballmer's taken over. They have great leadership in place. I like Fizdale a lot. I don't think he's Doc Rivers. And I like the people they have in place in New York, in Scott Perry and Steve Mills. They don't have the cachet of Jerry West. But I think you make a compelling argument for the Clippers. But that's if all things are equal. And all things are not equal. The Knicks offer him the business opportunities. They offer him the ability to construct the roster in his own image on his own because they have the second max cap spot thanks to the Kristaps trade. And the thing Rich Kleiman said there, we know is not true. Oh, you can't play at this level and be plotting your next move. Except for Bosh and LeBron got together at the Olympics and talked about it. Except for that LeBron was thinking about going to the Lakers the final year in Cleveland. And
what about Draymond and Durant?
Thank you.
The last time he left.
And except that Draymond was recruiting Durant from Oklahoma City throughout the season. So we know that's just words. It's not accurate. Guys, of course, are plotting their next move years in advance or at least months in advance. And so for Kevin Durant, the answer has been the Knicks all year. The answer will continue to be the Knicks until he signs on the dotted line.
Michael Jordan, of his championships, which ones were more important? The second 3 were far more important than the first 3. Because also, he lost there when he did come back. And if his career had ended right there with 3 championships, then losing to the Orlando Magic. But no, then he got 4, 5, and 6. What was the most important? 4 was until he got 5. What was the most important? 6 was until 5 was until he got 6. Kobe. We know Kobe's legacy. It was more important to win without Shaq. Those championships without Shaq mean more than the ones with Shaq. Where people, oh, you were the second best player. Well, okay, let me go get a couple more where I was the best player.
And it's not always in, chronological order. What's Wade's most important? The first one.
Yes.
The one before LeBron got there where he was the man on that team.
And I just believe with Kevin Durant, we understand that the Warriors were a championship team already. And when he joined them, they became who they are now. And for him to increase his legacy, he needs to be able to finish out. I think he needs to still be able to play in the finals and get that 3rd MVP in the finals and then go open up his own shop. And I believe the best option for him would be with the New York Knicks, where he can cultivate the whole culture here, because everyone has talked about Knicks basketball for 20 years. And if Kevin Durant can hoist that trophy and they have a parade, then he would be in the conversation with LeBron James and with Michael Jordan as the greatest basketball players ever. I don't care if they win 6 in a row in Golden State. Him and Steph Curry will never be evaluated in Golden State with the measure that he'll get if he goes somewhere else.
Here's how I look at it. I don't think Golden State wins another title if Kevin Durant doesn't go there in 2016. I don't think they win in 2017. Maybe they win in 2018 because there's no Kyrie Irving and Cleveland is diminished. But I don't think that they win in 2017. That Cleveland team in 2017 was really, really
better
good.
Than the one in 2016.
They were really, really good offensively, and they figured out how to beat Golden State. Kevin Durant came and changed that completely.
Quickly, and it's on the table, what if he doesn't play in the finals? Does that change anything? I know we all assume that he might at some point, he probably will, but what if he doesn't?
I think it only changes if they lose. If they lost in the finals without him, then it would be like, I could understand him coming back short term. But to me, all the tea leaves to read, Kevin Durant is leaving, win or lose in Golden State.
All right. Vinny, we'll see you a little bit later on in the show. Take a break. Coming up, can Carson Wentz lead the Eagles back to the Super Bowl? That's next on First Things First.
Michael Jordan's most important language is first name.